Okay, so I'm going to be looking at the individual Janna play. Elements vs. Rocket probably isn't the best game to look at if you want to look at like team play, macro play, you know, their decision making with like pushing waves or recalling or like lane swaps, etc. Probably don't want to watch Elements vs. Rocket for that, or yeah, go watch H2K or better yet, go to a different region and watch like the Tigers or whatever. But they all are good players individually. And so I'm just going to be taking a look at the Janna play. Um, so right now Janna isn't doing very much. Early game, I mean, some other supports have more of an impact in terms of like roaming. If Braum can get a stun off, he has much more kill potential than Janna does. But Janna is great at saving people. So you can see they're diving Poppy, but both Poppy and Janna play that very well. Um, and the end result is Poppy stays alive, and even Kindred dies. So if you look at that, you can see he hammers away the Trundle, and then he sort of does a little step over that way so that he can stun Kindred against a wall. He even heals from his Keystone. Um, Takes a bit of damage, but then the Janna flashes in, shields him. It can be awkward to shield people standing right behind a tower sometimes, just because their hitbox is a bit obscured by the tower. But if he was a bit farther to the left, maybe it would have been annoying. But right there, it's okay. If that happens, though, you can just click on their portrait or just try and move the tower around or something. But in any case, it was really nice of Janna to flash to save there. Um, if you do that in solo queue, your team's gonna love you. They'll call you, Janna God. Thank you so much. You're the best Janna ever. Um, and it's good that he did that because Poppy lives and Kindred, I think, doesn't ult for some reason. He may have been unable to because of the displacement, but I think he might have had time at the very end of the Janna ult before the tower shot hit him to use his ult, but it might have just been a misplay by Kindred. But it was certainly very well played by Janna and Poppy, and I like when Janna flashes to save people. I think that's a lot better than like flashing to initiate a fight or something, which is sometimes situationally what you need. But the main role of Janna is to save people, so it's nice to see him doing that. Um, I don't know what Kindred is doing here, um, honestly. Uh, but he picks up the free assist, which is nice. Okay, so here, it's notable that he has Swifties with Captain Boots. A lot of Jannas in the EU LCS build this and try and get picks. Well, you can see they all have Swifties because it's an OP item on this patch. It's 100 gold more in the new patch, so I don't know if they're still that good. But they allow him to, move pretty fast, combined with the passive move speed and the Zephyr move speed. And Captain helping out everyone else as well. Uh, and so they're getting a pick on Kindred. And what you can really see is the combination of Janna Lucian, which is an awesome combination pretty much throughout the game. It's great in laning phase because Lucian can control like the burst when he's trading. Um, Lucian can sort of go in, use his abilities, gets a lot out of the damage, and trade in these like very controlled windows where he uh, really abuses the Janna shield, um, but then he doesn't have to keep trading. And he's just pretty strong right now all around. He's got a smooth like power curve, at least on this patch with this itemization, Essence Reaver, and Rapid Fire Cannon, and he does a lot of damage at 23 minutes. He's pretty strong. He's pretty strong throughout the game. So what you can see here is Kindred still has no ult from uh, when she was like over doing stupid stuff. And so the shield on Lucian, like I was saying earlier, helps his abilities out a lot. So um, Janna slows Kindred, which is what you want to do when you're chasing somebody as Janna. Um, your W slow is the best option you have for chases. Um, So he uses that and then shields Lucian, so Lucian does a lot of damage. Lucian's abilities combined with the culling, um, with the bonus AD are enough. He also uses the Spooky Ghost, but they turned out to not even be necessary. Um, but it's good. I mean, they would have hit anyways. Okay, so I think the Janna Lucian is doing a great job so far. Um, and then a team fight breaks out. Trundle is still bot. He teleports in pretty late, but he's teleporting to that ward here. And so you can see Gianna start to charge up a tornado when she sees his teleport coming, and then time the tornado so that as soon as Trundle spawns, the tornado is on top of him, or he's on top of the tornado or whatever, so that he immediately gets knocked up, combined with like the gravity field and the Poppy charge then to just kill the Trundle. Um, and the reason that's nice is um, it's timed really well. This is something you want to practice in Sandbox, or and you can practice it in games too, though. Um, Trundle immediately like comes in, but can't do anything except for get knocked up there. So that was well timed. And then he's on the gravity field, and then he's in the Poppy charge. But Janna Tornado started the chain there, and that's a great thing to do. I mean, Trundle doesn't have the most impactful teleports, but against like a Hecarim or something like that, um, timing a tornado like that can be really, really critical. Plus, the shield on Lucian helps him do a lot of damage, and so they're able to kill the Trundle. Um, so that was pretty well played by Janna. I don't think they can chase here, right? No, they don't. Yeah, they have movement speed, but they could try and dive with the shield, but tower, I don't know. It's safer to Baron. So Janna ults here to heal. It's good because the jungler is important when you're doing Baron because they have smite, so you want them to be alive to secure it. I don't know if it was a totally necessary ult because the rest of the team was zoned, but whatever. The shields on Lucian are still helping him do a lot. He also exhausted the Kindred there, and then Kindred somehow went back in with like half HP, so he keeps shielding Lucian. They chain the Poppy's charge into a Janna Tornado. I think it's a bit early because Kindred still had her ult up, but the Lucian times his shot so that it hits Kindred as soon as she comes out of the tornado, or out of the Kindred ult. Alright, so here, I want to go over Janna's itemization for a second. She actually built Crucible, which I haven't seen that much of Janna's in LCS building Crucible. I think that's a mistake because, especially in pro games, it's a really useful item. But on the other hand, she doesn't have an Aegis, and no one on his team has an Aegis. And they're verse, Lulu and Corki, who both do significant magic damage. So I think someone should have an Aegis. But that's okay. He charges up a tornado here to go across there because he expects Roccat to stand back here while they siege. But Roccat, maybe because Poppy is top or something, steps up more aggressively than he expects. So the tornado doesn't hit anybody. But that's fine. Viktor stands really far up though, and then gets hit with the Braum passive and split from the team by the Trundle pillar. Uh, and so here, Viktor ends up dying. Now, I think this is probably the one thing I'm going to criticize Janna for, um, uh, because Janna, Janna could have. I don't know. I think probably could have saved Viktor here. Notice that Viktor still has flash up and Janna still has flash up. So because of the tornado here, the rest of the team is sort of unable to help Viktor. And when Janna ults from, she does shield Viktor, but when she ults from here, um, it knocks back the Braum, but that's not very helpful because he wasn't going to hit Viktor anyways. It knocks back the Trundle from like here to here, but that doesn't do very much. It gets like 1 or 2 ticks of healing off, but she's on top of the Braum ult, so it gets interrupted. So her ult was pretty um, unimpactful. It did not have much of an impact. So what I'm going to say she should have done is when Viktor gets caught by the Braum passive and the Trundle pillar, um, she should have actually flashed over the Trundle pillar. Remember how she has flash up? Ulting from here instead of behind it would have blown Trundle back a lot farther. It would have also blown Braum back farther. That's not really important. He could have gotten more healing off, and crucially, he could have used his Crucible when he flashed over on the Viktor, which would have saved him from the stun. Uh, and if he hadn't gotten stunned by the Braum passive, and he had the Janna over here blowing everyone back, Corki would have probably been the only source of damage. So he could have either turned it around onto Corki, but he probably didn't have cooldowns and loot. But he could have just gone and flashed away, which would have saved him. And so the Viktor definitely, if he had the Janna go in there, go for a better ult, and get the Crucible on Viktor. I think this is what I was saying about Crucible being a good item if you use it well. If he had properly used the Crucible there, probably could have saved Viktor, but that's okay. I like what he does here more, though. So you can see that he shields the Viktor because Viktor is frontlining again. And then he has a tornado charging across the corridor as soon as he sees that the fight starts in this like narrowish corridor. But he doesn't immediately release it because uh, he doesn't get impatient and just fire it off, because when it's over here it wouldn't reach very far. It needs to charge up so that it can reach farther. And then when his team hits some CC, the tornado's finally charged far enough to reach all the way over here. And so he finally does release it, and it ends up being timed really nicely so that they're able to finish Braum off. And then he keeps shielding the Lucian, which is great for, as I was saying earlier, just doing a lot of damage with your Lucian. Lucian can just abuse the shield to go in and destroy people. So Lucian ends up getting a triple kill on this chase, and I think that's GG. So I think the main story here is the Janna Lucian is a great combo, but Janna did a great job of saving Poppy. Might have been able to save Viktor. Sometimes it's better to flash, but it's good that he didn't. He might have died himself if he did that. He might have not even been able to save Viktor. I don't know. I think he probably could have pulled it off. But apart from this, because he does have the Crucible, and if he had flashed, he could have saved Viktor from the stun and pushed everyone except for the Corki out of damage range. So Viktor could have then flashed either back over the pillar or over the wall or something. So, that's... But, I mean, flashing to save someone there as Janna would have been a play that you kind of go back and think about, but, like, in the moment, you can't really blame him for that. And his play in the rest of this game was really good, saving Poppy, helping Lucian do a lot of damage, and picking people with his team. So that's pretty much what you want to do as Janna, and I think this is individually a pretty good performance by the Janna.